Money FM 89.3, the best of Saturday mornings. Wide World on Money FM 89.3.
Ubisoft is a French game publisher headquartered in France with development studios across the world. Its video game franchises include Anno, Assassin's Creed, Driver, Far Cry, Prince of Persia, so many others as well. It first achieved its commercial success and critical success in 1995 when with their platform game Rayman. In 1996, the company expanded into other parts of the world. Now they have a huge presence in Asia, bringing us to our guest today. Jean-Francois Vallée is the managing director of Ubisoft Studios, Southeast Asia and India. They are doing amazing things in this part of the world. Jean-Francois, thank you for being with us today. I'm so excited to hear about Ubisoft and what you're doing.
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad to be here, but you can call me JF. I think it could be easier
Let's do
for
that.
everyone.
Yeah.
I've been in the industry for 27 years now. I started at Ubisoft in Montreal in 1997. I started as a game tester, so I was, playing all the games with, trying to find the bugs and all the issues in games. And I had a chance to grow with the company and to try different things, play with, work on different games. And then one day I worked on the Splinter Cell franchise. And I'm not sure if you heard about that franchise, but it's starring Sam Fisher as a super secret spy. And that gave me an opportunity to come to China. So in 2005, I had an 8-month mission to come to China. That turned out to be a 19-year life adventure. So I stayed there until 2024 when I finally moved to Singapore.
Yeah.
So during my time in China, I helped build the studios in Shanghai and Chengdu, work with thousands of developers there. It's an incredible journey so far.
Yeah.
JF, give our listeners a quick overview of the Ubisoft story, because it is one of the great success stories of the 21st century.
Yeah, so Ubisoft is it's almost 40 years old. It was founded in 1986 by 5 brothers, the Guillemot brothers. And it was, at the beginning, it was really just about distribution and publishing other people's game. And then eventually, and you told the story quite well, one of our biggest runway success was Rayman in 1995 when we started developing games. And since I joined the industry, in 1997, I saw so many change at Ubisoft and in the industry. Back in the days, you could make a game with 12 people, 20 people. It took a year or two. Today, it can take 5 years, 8 years, 10 years with hundreds, if not thousands of people worldwide. Back in the day, the industry was very niche. So we were kind of guessing how to make games. We were discovering together, and that was really cool because, I met a lot of like-minded people, and we just wanted to make a good game. So we were inventing new ways of developing. And today I can see that it's much more mature. We have a very strong development pipeline. We have advanced technology. We make our own gaming engine, our own tools. We have specialized roles. So changed a lot in the last 27 years for sure.
Yeah. JF, there's so much competition in this space. I mean, just the number of games. I don't even know, do you even know how many games there are in the world? Like, there are just thousands and thousands of them on many different platforms. How do you decide what you're going to invest your time and your energy in developing, producing, promoting? There's a lot that goes into getting a game out into the world, right? So how do you decide at Ubisoft what you want to back?
It's true that it's highly competitive. So there was a saying that about 5 years ago, during a year, there would be a certain number of games. Well, last month, that was the number of games that was released.
In a month,
compared to 5 years, the entire year.
And when you say games, do you mean all games, paid games, free games?
All games,
right,
paid games, free games, indie games, blockbuster games. It's estimated that about 15,000 games came out last year alone.
Wow.
On mobile, PC, console. So yeah, it's extremely competitive. And the majority of the games, you might not even hear about it. So one of the big challenges is how do you stand out with that competition? So fortunately, we have brands and franchise that are quite well known around the world. We have the Assassin's Creed franchise, we have Rayman, Just Dance, The Division, The Crew, and so on. So at least with with a brand, a known brand, you have an edge against your competition. And we do types of games that we call AAA or blockbuster. It's like the Hollywood movies, the big blockbuster movies. So we tend to do these big production, open world adventure where you have a lot of agency in the game. You can, make choice and decide how it's going to happen. And we're also developing games as a service, what we call. Games that you release and that you release once and then you have content that comes out on a seasonal basis. For example, Rainbow Six Siege has been a big success for us for close to 10 years now. We released new operators and it's a very competitive game. It created communities around the world. Players are very engaged with that game. So we try to target specific types of game that we're really good at, that we've developed a certain expertise, and we rely a lot on our brands. And we have, of course, a lot of very talented people at Ubisoft. The studios, we have about 38 studios around the world with 18,000 people working for Ubisoft.
What are the volumes we're talking about in terms of sales? Give our listener a sense of sales of, say, Assassin's Creed or all of your Ubisoft games. It's up to you. Because we're talking in the millions here, aren't we? The tens of millions of unit sales.
Yes. I don't know how much I can go into the specifics because some of them are we're a publicly traded company.
Understand.
So what we know from the latest figures is the turnover was about 1.85 billion euros for the year sales. So 1.85 billion euros. And the market
for 2024.
For 2024.
And that's just one gaming company. So gaming is now bigger than the movie industry, isn't it? Much bigger.
It's it started in the early 70s. Maybe a game that Pong.
Of course. Yeah. Loved it.
Played it. Yeah, we had an original Pong machine.
Exactly. Oh, really?
Yeah, my family did. Yeah.
So that was the start of the gaming industry. It was very niche. You had to be a little bit geeky to enjoy game. Now it's a massive entertainment business worth $184 billion US dollar on a yearly basis.
Extraordinary.
Unbelievable.
So I was going to follow up with that question. So I remember, of course, in the early 2000s, every high street in the world had a gaming shop, a shop devoted just to selling games. And then when the smartphone came in and streaming platforms and so on, the obituaries were already being written for the physical game, but that really hasn't happened. So how has the gaming industry evolved with the advent of streaming and smartphones?
Well, gaming has evolved a lot, like I said earlier, from something very niche, very focused, to being much more mass market and trying to appeal to a larger audience. What used to be only on PC came to console and now on mobile. And you also have cloud gaming, so using the power of the cloud, you can play very high-definition games on your phone.
Because it's all about the experience, right?
Yes.
The visual and audio experience for gamers.
Yes. Yeah. It's what I like about the gaming industry is that it's really at the crossroad of technology and art, and on top of that, it's an interactive medium. So players have the options to have different choice or make different choice that can shape their experience. So you're not really passive; you're active when you're playing games. And even though we, the advent of streaming and social media, you can still see people interacting with games through a medium like Twitch. So even though you watch players playing, you can interact with Twitch drops, or you can even have some impact on the game. So there's still that interactivity that is great about that is very different from movie or TV. And when it comes to distribution, it was we were the king of retails. So,
you were
everywhere.
Teams,
Yes, they were everywhere. We were at Best Buy, Target, Walmart. We were really owning that space. But obviously, with digital markets, it changed a lot. Now today, I would say the sales is mostly digital, much less physical. And I know that it was really there was a resistance at first when I first learned that I wouldn't own a box, because that was a prize for me. I owned the box and the disc, and there was a manual, and you could see the credits
and a controller written. And all the
everything was you wanted to collect them. So when I saw a digital platform coming and selling games digitally, I was against that at first. But now I wouldn't live without digital distribution. It's so easy. You just go on PC or on a phone or a console. I want that game. I click on it. I get it. it downloads, it's very efficient, and then you can play almost immediately. So that's how much the technology is advanced and how much accessibility that you can have now with games.
Fascinating. Just to follow up on that, because obviously this has had an adverse effect on the movie industry. You know, DVDs, Blu-rays were a massive part of movies' post-release revenue, right? They knew they had that long-term revenue stream that they've since lost and they're trying to get back. Doesn't seem like that's been the same issue for the gaming. It's been a much smoother transition from physical to digital. Would that be fair?
There's two business model that I can talk about today. There's the one-time product. So let's say you do a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows. So we spent years developing that product, and then when we sell it, most of the sales are made in the first few months. So there's a big spike, and then there's a long tail. Physical or digital, it doesn't change a lot. And then there's live game or online games or free-to-play games that are usually much more sustained a long period of time. So, for example, a game like Rainbow Six Siege had a much longer sales volume on a regular basis because we create a lot of activity around the game. We release new operators, new maps. So instead of having a big spike and then after that it falls, you have a consistent streams of sales online for years. So these are two different models. But of course, when you sell an Assassin's Creed on the first few days, you have a huge spike. So you make most of the revenues, we say, are made in the first few months.
Yeah. We're talking with JF Vallée, the managing director of Ubisoft Studios in Southeast Asia and India. There are many countries in this part of the world, India, Indonesia, Philippines, for example, are still playing games on feature phones. And that experience is huge for them. If they don't have smartphones, if they don't have any kind of setup at home, are you working a lot with your games in that format as well on the traditional feature phone or phones that are less smart?
We are really trying to aim as much possible platform as possible. So we part of Ubisoft, we've been very pioneering in the old days. So whenever there was a new medium or a new platform, a new way to play, we would always be there and try to find new ways to interact with players. So when I don't know if you remember the Wii platform on Nintendo, with the
hand things.
Yes, the hand things. Yes, very
to me
technical
that was only 5 minutes ago. The Wii was like yesterday to me.
That's a few years ago. But
Yeah,
we were one of the first publishers to jump on the bandwagon and try to come up with new ways to play. And we came up with the Raving Rabbids concept and Just Dance. So through the new way to interact, we were able to get people to dance, and we're able to bring a lot of humors with mini games on Rabbids. So we're always very interested to try these new medium, these new platforms, whether it's the high definition of PlayStation 5 or more lower definition, but higher accessibility of mobile phones. So we have different departments at Ubisoft catering to these different
So you're
groups.
just going across as many platforms as you can.
As much as possible.
But are you doing the same games across all the platforms, or are you specific games for?
We
the different
tailor the
platforms?
game content and the game mechanics to the medium or the
So
platform.
Assassin's Creed, you can play it on any platform, but it's a different experience on each platform. For example.
So in the case of Assassin's Creed, we created some specific experience on mobile. So we have one, it's called Assassin's Creed Rebellion, where you have a very different experience, but it's still the same franchise. So you have multiple assassins, and you can build your base, and you can have more social elements in it. While if you have more power on the machine, like a PlayStation 5, you can have more impressive graphics. You can come up with more interesting gameplay system that can have impact on the player's choice.
Yeah.
For example, in Assassin's Creed Shadows, I'm really excited about that because we create a weather system that allows you to have 4 seasons in the game. That's one of the first time that you can see that in real time. So our main character can be walking around the field, and there's like maybe a river, and then snow comes in, and then the river will turn to ice. And when you're on that ice, you will slip. And you will have some interaction.
Wow.
But you can also leverage that if you're combating other characters, because they will slip also. And after that, the sun will come up, the snow will melt, and then there will be mud. And if you slide, then your body will have mud on it. So the level of interaction,
Fantastic.
it's not possible on mobile device, for example.
Right.
They never had that on Pac-Man, did they? Rob has just said, long live Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, and Mario.
Stop it, Rob. You're a dinosaur.
Hey, Pac-Man is still one of the greatest gameplay games ever invented.
I played a lot of Pac-Man.
Pac-Man was the best. But I've got many friends in both the sports and arts medias, right? And to them, the two existential threats, well, one really is AI, number one. But more relevant to this part of the world is piracy. That's a big issue for the movie industry, for the TV industry, and also for the sports industry. You know, people illegally downloading football matches and whatever. Are those concerns in the gaming industry too?
So it's two different topics, so let me tackle them one by one. So the first one, the subject of piracy, I think that digital distribution solved that problem for us. And the business model of free-to-play solved it in Asia.
Yep.
So I don't know if you know Valve Corporation or Valve Software. They created the Steam platform.
Used to be Steam, yeah.
Yes, it's still Steam.
Okay.
And that really changed the game when it comes to piracy, because most of the time piracy happens when you have difficulty having access to the material. You know, you want to have access to a match or a game or a movie, but you have so many blockers or hurdles to get there.
Yeah.
You know, you may need to, maybe it's not playing in your city or in your country, or maybe whatever reason. It's usually not a money issue. It's more of an accessibility issue.
Correct.
So Steam with digital distribution and Apple, the same thing with the App Store, were able to solve piracy a lot by allowing users to have access almost immediately. So when a game is sold on a digital platform, the moment the moment it's available at midnight or midnight in 1 second, you can immediately download it and jump in the game. And with digital distribution, you may even preload the game. So at midnight 1, you're in there. So that's what I feel about piracy is people will use piracy because it's hard for them to access the content in legitimate way. I think Netflix helped a lot also with piracy. By having streaming and by having immediate access to your content.
No need to go buy the DVD on the street corner, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I was in China. I used to buy a lot of DVD at the street corner, but after the event of streaming, I didn't have to.
Yep.
It was more easy it was actually easier access and better quality to digital platform than going to the street corner and trying to get a DVD, and sometimes it was not the right version, or there was some
It was the same when I lived
issue.
in Hong Kong. You know, people just walking down the street with bags full of DVDs to buy.
So I saw this going down when I was in China. So I think better accessibility to your consumers will help a lot with piracy. Now, in the case of AI, I see AI as an evolution of content creation. So we're in the business of creating content with games. When you make a game like Assassin's Creed Shadows, you want to recreate feudal Japan. So you have, a lot of you have a lot of areas that you need to create. You need to create Osaka. You need to create temples. You need to create roads, streets, trees, rivers, and they have to be able to change throughout the time of the day and the weather systems and so on. So it becomes very time-consuming. So we need to come up with new tools to create content. So back in the days when you were making a game, each tree that you would make were handcrafted. But now with procedural generation, you can use tools to paint a forest, and then the artists have control on how they want to make the forest grow. So we see AI in the same way. It's not a tool that will replace our developers or our artists, but it's some tool that will help elevate the artists to create in new ways content that we can not even predict that what's going to happen next. You know, what kind of content are we going to create, and how we're going to create, and are we going to able to create the whole planet or multiple planet? And I think AI will help that. And the way we approach AI is to always give control to our team members. So we say that AI is not a ceiling; it helps take the floor higher. And we always want the AI tools to be in control. So we're developing, and we don't have a lot of AI tools, but the way we approach it, I know one of them is to help create image. It's artists have the control on how they want to generate the art, what is the input material, what is the output expectation, what is the different parameters to control. And I see this as a natural evolution of like I said before, everything was handcrafted, and now we're using procedural tools to help populate the worlds. And I think AI is just another tool that will help to make these worlds even more believable.
Interesting. Talking to Jeff Vallée, Managing Director of Ubisoft Studios, Southeast Asia and India. Generationally, we're in at a point in time where some of the early gamers are now in their 50s and 60s. Are you catering to that generation of gamers too? A lot of people still out there, very active.
A lot. Huge numbers.
Yeah, even though they're, older in quotes.
Hopefully you're gamers, right? Hopefully you like Ubisoft games, Assassin's Creed and so on. So game has become a lot mainstream when mobile devices were introduced. So we got a lot of a new generation of players that would have never played game, because if you want to play on console or PC, you need to have you need to kind of know what you're doing. You need a special rig or a special PC with a expensive video card, and you kind of need to know how to navigate on launching games. On console, it's also very specialized, can be costly. But on a mobile device, it's quite easy. It's ubiquitous. Almost everyone has a mobile device. And then the App Store made digital distribution very easy. So we saw a lot of new players coming with the advent of mobile device. And like I said earlier, we cater to a lot of different audience, from hardcore players with Assassin's Creed or Rainbow Six Siege to more casual, friendly gamers like Just Dance or the Raving Rabbids. We bring a lot more humor. On mobile device, it's the same. We have casual, friendly games. We have more hardcore games. So we are trying to cater to a wide range of audience. And we see that there's a certain brand loyalty to Ubisoft. So I don't have the exact numbers, but we have, I can't really remember the financial numbers, but it's about 100 million players that play Ubisoft games on a yearly basis. About 30 million players on Rainbow Six, 30 million players on Assassin's Creed on a yearly basis.
Yeah.
And I think it's a wide range. We have a younger audience discovering AC with the new game. We have older generation that keeps being loyal to the games that we've made. So we're really trying to aim for a mass audience as much as possible.
Yeah.
We believe that we have stories to tell, or we have games that can create memorable gaming experience for everyone.
I have a geeky pop culture question that's always fascinated me. You mentioned earlier you do movie tie-ins, right? Yes. You do games. Does the box office affect the sales of the game? The reason I say that is because there's been some very famous examples over the years of a very successful movie. E.T. was so famous. You know that story, right? The E.T. game was legendarily bad that they made a documentary about it. But then conversely, GoldenEye, the famous James Bond game, revolutionized gaming. So does the box office of a movie affect the game, or does it come down to, in the end, the quality of the game?
In the end, it always comes down to the quality of the game, no matter what is the source material. And it's something that we take very seriously, and that's why we spent more time on AC Shadows. We had to delay it multiple times to achieve the quality that we felt was the best. So quality matters a lot. I think because there's so many games out there, brand recognition could help. So if a movie is quite popular and there's a tie-in of a game with it, I think it can help with acquisition. People understanding, oh, okay, I saw the movie. I can understand that this could be a fun game because I like the movie. So there could be elements that can help, putting eyeballs on that game when you have 15,000 games. So it's probably one element, but at the end of the day, it's quality that matters.
Any examples at Ubisoft where you've had a movie tie-in that's worked very well?
Well, I think that we did a lot of tie-ins with movies, and we had my memory is failing a little bit, but we did Avatar.
All right.
So we had the 2 games coming out with Avatar. We did one last year with Star Wars. So we made a game with. We created a new scoundrel, so we wanted to give the scoundrel fantasy, the alter ego of a bit of Han Solo. So we created a new character. She was quite fun to create. So we did a tie-in with Star Wars, one with Avatar. We did a few with Disney back in the days. I worked on Batman.
Oh, that was a groundbreaking game. I remember that when it came out, yeah.
maybe not that one.
Okay.
That was a good one.
The other Batman.
Mine was pretty good. Mine was pretty good.
You could have
yes.
said nothing, and
Yes,
nobody
yes.
would have known.
Which
was your one? Which was your one?
We worked on a game called Batman Adventures. I was pretty proud of the game,
Okay.
but back then it was quite niche. So there was not. It was a success for us. It was based on the cartoon, the DC, the Warner cartoon back in the day with the square jaw.
Yeah.
Is that the one that Mark Hamill did the voice of the Joker?
I think so.
The Joker
I think
voice.
so.
Yeah,
Back
the
in
famous
days.
one.
That
Yeah.
was 1999.
That's right.
So I mean, it helped us as developer to use material like Batman. So we were discussing with Warner, the Warner team. They were giving us access to a lot of characters.
Yeah.
So it was great. And then we did a follow-up with that. It was called Batman Rise of Sin Tzu, where we created a new character in the DC universe called Sin Tzu. And we created that with maybe a cartoonist legend that you know, maybe you know him, Jim Lee.
Yeah.
So we worked with Jim Lee on creating that character. So it was quite exciting. So again,
a real collaborative effort.
a real collaborative effort
Yeah.
with Jim Lee. So it was great because he would come in the studios, give us some feedback, and then the concept artist would draw the character, and we would iterate on that. So was it successful for us? Yes. But maybe not to the volume that you see today. So it would be interesting to see if we can remake that game with modern technology, if the nostalgia of would pick up on that game.
There must be an element, though, and I'm not expecting you to name names. Monday morning, you get the box office results. It's a movie that you have a tie-in. The guys in the office must be, oh no, the box office has tanked. There must be an element of that, I'm sure. You've worked on a game for many, many years, big box office projections, and for whatever reason, it doesn't happen.
Well, if I can share a story, we worked on Beowulf, the game. So I don't know if you remember Beowulf, the movie.
I do. Angelina Jolie, Ray
yeah.
Winstone. I do remember it, yes.
Unfortunately, the movie didn't do as well as we were expecting. For many reasons. So the game didn't also succeed as well. So that was an example where it didn't work that much. We're a little bit sad when we saw the reception of the movie. Again, we're very proud of the work we've done. Making games is extremely hard. Sometimes we say it's a little miracle when you ship a game because everything has to come together. So it's extremely risky. It's extremely competitive. So whenever we ship something, it's kind of a celebration, you know. Whether the game will be successful or not, we're very proud of it. We're very excited about it. We worked hard on it. Sometimes players may or may not see all the details that we put in. Sometimes we put little Easter eggs, some things that we put in there for players to discover. Some players discover them, and it's great to see that. So regardless of the success, we're always very, very proud of the games that we're making, and it's really a tribute to the team members doing that. It's not easy. It's really hard. You have to put a lot of hours, and you have a lot of very passionate people. That's something that I hear a lot when people are visiting our studio, how passionate our team members are, and this is one of the biggest. One of the things that make me wake up in the morning and go to the office, it's not really the games or the studio or the office chair and all this. It's really the people that I get to work with. Yeah. I made lifelong friends, people with, like-minded, animated by the same passion of making great games. We talk about games, we play games. It's great. And you don't have to be ultra passionate about games to be at Ubisoft. I have colleagues that may or may not be as passionate as us in gaming, but they bring something to the table too. Making games, like I said, it's at the frontier of art and technology. So you have designers, artists, traditional 2D artists, 3D artists, technical artists, procedural artists. You have game developer, game designer, narrative designer, marketing artists, engineer, online engineers. You have all sorts of specialized role and all sorts of generalized roles. Yeah. So it's really, to me, it feels like a privilege to be working with such talented people.
We've come a long way since Pong.
Yes.
Two sticks.
My brother still has our original Pong game.
Oh, I used to go sick off school to play Pong.
Wow.
Yeah, in the late 70s.
You are hardcore gamers.
Yes. JF Valet, Managing Director, Ubisoft Studios, Southeast Asia and India. Thanks for being with us. Fascinating discussion.
To listen to more great interviews, download our podcasts at audio.sg or download the audio app. That's AWEDIO, audio at the App Store and Google Play.